Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, doing a rare video from my house. I've been requested to do more videos from home. Guys, don't get used to this. I work a lot, and that's the only time I really get a chance to be by myself and do these videos without a bunch of kids running around. And when I'm home, most of the time I am busy. I coach. As of right now, I'm coaching 6 different teams between baseball and basketball. So I'm on the road and I coach all the time, but I actually got a little time to myself when I got off of work here. So decided to knock out a couple videos. This is the what's next on Azat Hovhannisyan, the former world title challenger, as he's coming off of the knockout loss to Luis Nery in their WBC title eliminator. Before I get into that, guys, hey, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe to the channel. Anything. I appreciate any and all support that I get. I really do, guys. And if you don't like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs down. Leave a bad comment. I can take it. I want you guys to be real with me. That's the point of this. It's full transparency. This is called true boxing. Anyways, back to Hovhannisyan. He fought his ass off. This, to me, is going to be tough to top for fight of the year. This was a great back and forth. It was the mood was swinging in the fight. You had Nery win a lot of the first half. He was winning, maybe 4 rounds to 2. You could argue 5-1 after 6. And then Hovhannisyan turned it on, man, and was had got right back into the fight. And after 10, you could call it even. You could even argue one way or the other for both guys. And Hovhannisyan seemed to have the advantage. Like maybe he was going to stop Nery in the late rounds, or he was going to win those championship rounds and win the fight. And Nery caught him cold. He just caught him cold with a wicked left hand. And that was basically all she wrote. Nery jumped on Hovhannisyan, and it was just, the fight got stopped. But definitely fight of the year candidate. There was an absolute fucking war. Hovhannisyan got nothing to hang his head about. It's just disappointing because this dude is seriously was the boogeyman at 122 for a lot of years there. Ever since he fought Ray Vargas back in, I believe it was 2019 for the title. Guys have been avoiding him. Actually, I think it was 2018 when he fought him for the title. So we're talking like 5 years it's been since he fought for the title, and only one dude gave him a legit chance, or gave him a legit fight in terms of name, and that was Franklin Manzanilla in 2019, and he destroyed Manzanilla in 4 rounds, but he's been widely avoided since then, and it's disappointing at his age because, you look at him, he's 34, and you're like, okay, does he still have something left? Obviously, he's got something left. And I just hope he can get back in it. But he needs to start now. He doesn't need to hang his head. Go rest up. But hopefully he can jump back in. So I'm going to run through the top 10, see what could be possible for him in the second half of the year and go from there. And I really do hope he returns in the second half of the year. He doesn't take the rest of the year off because, it's only February. Or, it's still February. It's the last day. So we start with Stephen Fulton. Not going to happen. Fulton's fighting Ayoa Inoue next, the monster. And if he wins, he's either going to fight for undisputed against MJ or he's going to take on Luis Nery because that's his mandatory now. So Hovhannisyan doesn't have a crack there. Marajan Akhmadaliev. That one's interesting. I do think there's a possibility there. And the reason why is if Stephen Fulton or Inoue, the winner of that fight, if they decide to make their mandatory defense against Luis Nery before an undisputed showdown with MJ, I could see, because both these guys work with the zone, I could see Hovhannisyan and MJ locking horns in the second half of the year. I'm going to lean towards the less likely because I don't know if MJ is going to want to risk that ahead of a potential undisputed title clash, but I do think it's a possibility. Next is a rematch with Luis Nery. Not going to happen. Even if MJ gets the crack at the winner of Inoue and Fulton, you're not going to see Nery fighting the winner or fighting Hovhannisyan. He'll probably fight somebody who will pose less of a risk because, why go and put your body through that ahead of a mandatory shot? Especially when, in all fairness, Nery held on, and it wasn't a lucky punch. He just landed a great shot that ended up working out for him. But that fight was definitely not in his favor at the time. So he's not going to put his body through that again. Even though the fans would love to see a rematch, he's got a guaranteed shot at undisputed or at least 2 belts Why risk that? He's not going to. Then you got Liam Davies, undefeated contender. This one's interesting. I could see it happening because Hovhannisyan now, he's going to be, even though he's still considered to be a dangerous opponent, somebody might want to risk themselves against him and say, hey, I can beat him too, and that'll get me into that top spot in fighting for a world title. Maybe I'm going to lean towards the less likely with Davies. I don't know if Davies is ready to take that kind of risk, but you never know. Ronnie Rios, which would be a rematch. I don't think Rios, coming off a knockout loss to MJ, is going to want anything to do with a rematch with Hovhannisyan, so I'm going to say no to that. Ionut Baluta. I could actually see this fight. I really could. Both these guys are, Baluta's avoided, or Baluta attracts the UK fighters. He's coming off the loss to Liam Davies towards the end of the year. But with Hovhannisyan coming off of a loss, these two guys want to get back in the mix, like in terms of the rankings too. Why not fight each other? It makes sense. So definitely a possibility. Then Angelo Leo. The dude has ties to the PBC, although I think Leo and Hovhannisyan would be a war, would be a great fight. I don't see it just because of the promotional thing here. Unless they can make it a mandatory fight and it go to purse bid, I don't see it. And Aaron Alameda, same thing. I think it's the same thing with that one. So for Hovhannisyan, if I had to choose, I'd say his best chance at a top 10 guy would be, I forgot about Rais Aleem. Aleem might try to call him out, but I don't think they would. And maybe it would be a WBA mandatory fight, but I'm not seeing it. But for Hovhannisyan, I could see him, fighting, getting an eliminator right away because it was such a competitive fight. But at the same time, I don't know. I could also see him, and the more likely is that he just comes back, shakes off that loss, and goes in and just gets a knockout win, just to kind of get back to where he was. But I hope he doesn't have to wait as long as he did the first time to get a crack at somebody. I hope not. And hey, maybe he moves up to 126. He's been banging around here for a minute. 126 has got some good fighters too. Maybe he moves up to 126 and tries himself there and sees what, and can see what's going on. There's some good fighters fighting with DAZN at 126. That's a loaded division right there. So those are the possibilities and the options. And that's it. That's what I got. That's what's next on Azat Hovhannisyan, the former world title challenger, coming off the loss to Luis Nery. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.